What's up, guys, and welcome back for another Fallout 76 video. In this one I'm going to give you kind of a tour of all the prefabs that I own, but in addition to that, I want to show you guys how to actually place your extractors inside of your buildings, inside of your prefabs. This is really useful to do on like workshops or even your camp, just to either keep other players out or just make everything look nicer and just kind of protect it overall and everything. So I'm over here on Wade Airport, the favorite showcase spot for me. So what we're going to do is we're first going to illustrate how to put the extractors inside buildings and kind of like how I've done it in the past and everything. So what I normally do is I'll go in here to the resources and I will go over here and I'll look at the highlight for where the extractor would be placed, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on the orientation here, so you want to keep that in mind. Now, one of the structures that I use for workshops sometimes for encasing these things is the red barn here. The red barn, it came with the big and tall bundle, but pretty much any prefab that has the overall footprint to encase the node will work. So we have our player squared up on this node here, so we know that this extractor is going against the screen like that. So what you need to do first is you first need to put the building down over the node. It might take some moving around and everything, but it'll go down just fine. Then you can go back over to your resource tab, and then you can place your extractor down. Now that puts this extractor very neatly inside of this building. Let's look at the red barn custom door. This is the custom door that comes with the red barn. Looks pretty good, pretty solid on the outside. You know, there's no other entrances to it, so that's what makes it great as a resource enclosure. So we can just open that up, and then with the new generators, even with a regular fusion generator, you can put them back here. You have plenty of room for that. And then upstairs you have a nice area as well. I think if you're just getting started in Fallout and you don't have that many crafting stations or you don't have that many resource generators, the red barn is a pretty good option for you, because it gives adequate space and no real weird gimmicky things going on or anything like that. And like I said, it's just gonna take some finagling, but there, that works out perfect. And it's also going to be largely dependent on the surrounding terrain around the node as well. If you have severe drop off towards water, it's going to affect it as well. And that's not necessarily trying to like get it to clip with the node itself. That's more or less just like if the node wasn't even there, it probably wouldn't fit either. But that's actually, this is what I was going for. I was going for like a nice like against the wall kind of aesthetic here. And then with the new generators, which I will note that these new generators actually emit electricity, so you don't necessarily need to use like power conduits or anything to like emit for lights and stuff. But like this 100 power generator would fit like right here in the corner, and then hook directly to that. And this fills up the bottom of the skull tower actually really well, and it's kind of tucked in and out of the way and everything. But if you want a full tour of this, well, I guess for this video, since we're doing all the prefabs, we'll go and do a full tour of this, just to be kind of all inclusive and everything. But what I normally do is put like the junkyard dog, put the junk extractor down here on the bottom floor, maybe the power armor station or something. Up here is where you're gonna put your crafting, your bed, some resource generation as well. I usually put turrets on this side of the door, but I usually try to put the other turret like on this corner, so you can still kind of make your way out and around over here, and then up to this area where you can put like novelty stuff or decorations or whatever. Also, if you have marsupial or you're really good at jumping over the skull, you can put more turrets over here, and you can try to put a generator on this wood plank, but I've had difficulty getting it to actually kind of turn blue on that as well. And another thing I'll note again is there's a conduit connection here on the back that you can hook up stuff to as well. But that generator on the inside being placed right there is enough to emit for the entire building. The way I test emissions actually is I take these I go to wall decorations here, and I go to these little things, these lighted pictures, and I basically just put them like all over in different areas, and if they light up, that means that they're in the emission range. And so the next thing you could do, it might not reach the very, very top, but I know that when we were testing this before, the emissions for that 100 is pretty high. Oh yes, it does. So this would be like the furthest away from that generator. It's on the opposite side, and that one is down there. So I just kind of place these all over, and if they light up, then emissions is good. So that generator being down there at the very bottom is enough to power the entire thing as far as lights and everything. So let's go ahead and get on to the next prefab once I decide who is shooting at the skull tower here. Another thing I'll note about these prefabs as well is, at least the newer ones, even when the prefab is destroyed, it won't disappear. So it won't actually expose your your extractor if it's destroyed. The boat is pretty decent. It's pretty easy to actually get to place. I've used this in the past for, like, you know, moving camps around to do like certain node farming and stuff. The interior here could be a little finicky in terms of beds, and, you know, these corners, it can be a little weird lining everything up, but overall it's pretty easy to get everything kind of situated in here. You can also place stuff on the top here as well. It's kind of more or less easier to make this like a mobile, like farming, like prefab. And the reason I got into prefabs in the first place is because it makes moving camps easier. So with that being said, the very, very, very first prefab that I ever got was the Shady Shack right here. And the Shady Shack has its own door. And I'm going to explain too why prefabs are important, especially if you move your camp a lot. So the more things that we attach to this prefab, whenever we move our camp, everything that's attached to that prefab and the prefab itself become like blueprint. So when you move your camp, you're able to place everything down immediately. So back in the day, I used to put everything on this thing as well, and this was even with the fusion generator here. The fusion generator I would have placed right here on the back, something like this, and it was attached to it. And then I would have the vendor, like the regular style vendor, would be right here on the side, and everything will fit in there perfectly. Now that you can start getting stuff that's smaller footprint and everything like that, it makes it, you know, so much easier to get everything on here. Like, instead of putting that big fusion generator on the back like that before, you could literally just put this this new utility box generator right here on the corner, just like that. And then on the inside, you can I used to put like the shelter entrance right here, but then I put like my ammo generator and a bunch of my resource generators here, and then inside the shelter I would put all my crafting, and then up on top I would put turrets, weather changing, and things like that. But this is like a really nice, like, small prefab, and this was the first one that I ever actually used. It's a very versatile. The next one that I ended up getting was this cabin, which I got this cabin and then I didn't end up actually using it all that much, mainly because it's more for like making an aesthetic than really being utility. I don't think it even has an actual custom door, if I remember. I've gotten this like years ago. Let's go look at doors. I want to say no to the door thing, so it'll just fit any standard door. But then it has this like really open window that you can't really put anything on. You can put like drapes over it or whatever, but for the most part it's kind of tiny. I would say it's pretty basic. I'd say it has, you know, it's a little bit of a step up from the CD Shack or CD Shed here, but really it's just, and also, unless they fixed it, there was a lot of issues with actually putting wall deco on. It would like clip into the wood, but it looks like they fixed it and everything, so that's pretty good. I would say CD Shed I'd probably give like an 8 out of 10, and then the Bulwark I would probably give a 5 out of 10, and then this one I would give probably a 3 out of 10 for utility. and everything. Alright, let's go to the next one that I own, which will be, I'm trying to start with the smaller ones and kind of work our way up. The next one that I ended up getting was the communist bunker here, which this one has its own custom door as well, if I can find it. There it is. It's like a kind of a rounded door here. This one's nice too, but also really small. It's kind of like a in between, and as far as size goes, it's in between like the cabin and the seedy shed here, but it's pretty decent. Pass-through power on this is pretty complicated, so you could end up putting like a generator up here for emissions, and then you are able to actually get it to clip wires through this top here, which I've done in the past. And then you can also put turrets down here on the corners for defense. I would give this one like probably a 6 out of 10 for the most part. Let's try to get one more prefab in for this defend event. The next one that I got was the Blood Eagle Nest. This one I actually still use to this day, just because it is nicely low profile. It clips really well into terrain, so it works really well on slopes. It's relatively small. It's a little bit of a size up from the seedy shed, but it's very, very useful. And then on the top, you can actually put more stuff here on this flat area as well. I would actually give this nest here probably an 8 out of 10 for usefulness and everything. Go to the next one. Now we're going to start sizing up pretty substantially, because this is where I started really like getting a lot of prefabs inside bundles and things like that. This is the Firewatch Tower. I use this one in my workshop blueprint. I'm able to put like my Collectron and a lot of stuff down here, line this whole side with turrets, drop it into a workshop, and it's pretty much good to go. And then you can kind of go up here and then place resources or whatever you need on the outside, and then more turrets out here. And then with these new generators now, you can very easily put them either on the corner here, which can be exposed to enemy fire, or it'll fit nicely right here in this area beyond the stairs as well. And that'll be enough emissions to cover the whole thing. So this one's really nice. I primarily use this one and the red barn for workshops and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get this defend event done so these guys will stop shooting at everything, and then we'll continue on. Alright, on to the next one, which is going to be the Brotherhood of Steel Armory. This is one I'm actually actively using in my camp right now, which is really great. I have 2 turrets down here on the stairs, and then I put turrets on each of the 4 corners here, which is really nice. Leave this walk around kind of open, and then it also has the custom door here. So let's go ahead and go doors, and I'll show you guys the custom door that's on here. It's this Brotherhood door right there. Get this placed in, and then when it's hooked up to power, it actually has like smoke and stuff. So let's go ahead and get the this is one of those structures that actually has a power conduit that needs to be hooked up, because it has like effects and things associated with it. Now I have this built in my main camp with 2 of these 100 power generators, and they're such small profile I can put them both right here side by side. But when you hook up the generator to the boss armory, that's when you get the lights and like the smoke effect and everything around the door. But most of the time I'll just leave this door open, and then up here you have a nice area for decorations, ally, things like that. I usually put my weenie wagon, water boiler up here, some lights, and then down here there's a pretty good amount of space. Got some rocks clipping in, but this will go away if you relogged on a camp. But enough space to put your power armor display, all your resources, your bed, your crafting stations. This is probably one of my favorite prefabs right now. So obviously I'm going to give this one like a 10 out of 10 for usefulness and utility and things like that. The next one we're going to go over is going to be, let's go over here, and we're going to go over some that I've not really used a whole lot, but I kind of got in bundles and stuff. Now this is the this is the Charleston Firehouse, and this one's going to be roughly the same footprint as the Skull Tower here. So kind of big. We're going to put it over here off to the side, but it also has its own custom door as well, which is right here. Put that one in there, and then we'll go do a little walk around of this one. Takes a little bit of like one thing I don't like about the Charleston Firehouse is it takes a long time to open that door, but most doors I leave open anyway. So you can see it's pretty decent on the inside. You got some room on the inside of the stairs to do stuff. What's different between the bottom level of this and the Skull Tower is this pole is not here, so it would be very difficult to actually probably put the extractor in here. You have to finagle it quite a bit, but you could put it along that wall right there. And then if you go up here, kind of the same idea. Up here you have a little bit less space than the Skull Tower, especially with this hole in the floor. And then what's nice about this one is you have access to the roof without actually going outside like the Skull Tower and around and then up. So you can actually put defenses and stuff up here. Pretty good vantage point. But as you can see, it's not as tall. It's roughly, actually, as far as just standing on the surface, it's just as tall as the Skull Tower. It's just, you get more of a view with this one and everything. And then this fire pole is actually something that you can use to get out really quick. So pretty simple on that. Let's do an exterior kind of walk around so you can kind of see. I never actually even checked this one for outside conduit connections, but I'm not seeing one. But overall, it's pretty decent. The door is alright if you like that, kind of theme and everything. As far as usefulness, I guess I should give a rating to the Skull Tower. The Skull Tower, as far as usefulness, I'd probably give like a 7 out of 10. And then the red barn that I've showed already, I'd probably give that one a 9 out of 10 for usefulness, because it's still my go-to for putting in extractors and stuff like that into encasements. So the Charleston Firehouse is probably more on the 6 to 10 kind of rating, or something like that. Alright, we're going to probably move a little bit for some of these bigger ones. There's some other ones I've gotten in the Big and Tall bundle that I've just never used. This one's the Wavy Willard's Wipeout. Let's get this thing placed somewhere, just anywhere. Switch to free cam, just because it's very large. If we can get it in here, that'll be great. Put it right over there. This one's more of like, kind of an aesthetic thing, as far as, having something fun to, have your camp associated with. But there are a lot of stairs, and just a lot of like moving around to get anything done. Like you'd have like a one room here for either like crafting or resource generating, and then you'd go up to this next floor, you get another identical room for something else, and then up again for kind of the top and where you can put turrets and stuff like that. So probably a little bit more work to actually move around to like get to everything that you need and everything, but the slide actually does work, and so you can use that to actually get back down to the bottom. But the animation is slower than just jumping off the thing. You can also place some stuff down here if you wanted to, but overall, I got this one just because it was included with the bundle. I don't think I'll probably ever use it. You could also place turrets on this stairwell all the way up, or all the way around this pool for a defense, which would work out pretty well. I'd probably give this one, in my opinion, a 6 out of 10 if I had to compare it with kind of everything that I have. The next one is going to be the Makeshift Mega Mansion. This one also came in the Big and Tall bundle, which is basically just a bunch of Connex boxes kind of lined up and everything. More, also another big starey one if you're going with like the rugged, kind of look. But you got room in here. Then you can go up this flight, kind of a platform that you can build on here and here, and then another room there, and then up here on the third story you got another one here. You can kind of place turrets over here, and it's got a lot of little like nooks and crannies you can kind of fill out and everything. I think if I was going to go with the that kind of rundown aesthetic, I think it would be pretty decent. You could make it look pretty good. But I'd probably give this one like a 7 out of 10 for utility and everything. Now the next one, let's go on and keep going. See, I'm trying to save the Hunter's Lodge for last because it's one that I actually have built on a camp right now. So I figured I'd show you guys the actual camp setup and everything after I show you the bear walk around. This is the newer one, the camp counselor tent. Very basic. This would be useful maybe even for like workshop blueprint and everything. Very, very basic. No real other utility about it. I'd give this one probably like a 4 out of 10 if you had to compare it against everything else that we've kind of looked at here. I also have this Blackburn's bungalow. I have several of these. I think I've had these bungalows for a while, and there's a bunch of different colors, but this is like the black one. Also very basic. I think this would probably look better if you're gonna use this tent just to put like a bed or something down on a workshop or whatever the case may be. The bungalow might actually work a little bit better because it just looks nicer and you can kind of see out of it. So this one I'd probably give like a 6 out of 10 for usefulness and everything. I think we're getting pretty close to all the prefabs that I own. Let's just make sure I haven't missed anything. But the only thing I think we have left to cover is we have the Tavern. One of the other big ones. Let's put the Tavern out here because this one is pretty big. And this one also has a custom door as well, which is up here. Wildwood Tavern door. Now, this one is massive. This one has a lot of places that you could put stuff. So let's go ahead and jump over in here and give this a good look around. This also has a conduit on the back right here that you can hook power up to, which is interesting because you could actually fit the generator right here on this box and put it down there directly, and the emissions would be enough to kind of cover the whole thing. As far as the outside, it's run down building. Essentially, you can put a bunch of decorations on the outside. First floor here, pretty decent space. I've used this one for a camp for a while. Some of these walls can be really weird for like decorations. A lot of these I've put weapon racks over, put like the bed and stuff underneath the stairs here, and then just kind of line crafting and resources kind of around the perimeter here. And then if you go up this floor, I've used this room as a dedicated power armor station. So I put my power armor station here, and I'd line this whole wall with power armor display cases, put the fusion core recharger in here, and make this kind of just like the dedicated power armor place. If you come out this door here, you can also place your own custom door here and lock it. Come out here and come around to the side, you have more area here where you can place things like the perk swap thing or the vendor or other stuff like that. You can also immediately go up this stair into this other room, which I've used to put like resource generators in here, put the ally up here so I don't have to listen to them talk, things like that. And then also more stuff here on the kind of side here. And if you have marsupial or jetpack, then you can access the roof here where I've put like weather changer, put like planters and stuff up here, or even turrets and things like that. In terms of actually standing on top of this thing, it actually looks to be probably about the same height as the skull tower and everything. So it's probably more or less on the same scale of the Charleston Firehouse and the skull tower there. But overall, pretty useful. You can fit a lot of stuff in this tavern here, which is good. Great utility. It just, you can be a little finicky getting it to like place in various terrains and things like that. So I'd give it probably a 9 out of 10. I think the Brotherhood Steel Armory is about the only thing that's gotten a perfect score, only because I use it a lot. The next one is going to be this Hunter's Lodge, which I've just more recently I've gotten this one, and I've actually built inside of this one on a camp. So we're gonna get this one placed, and I'll show you the empty, and then I'll take you to where my camp is actually built with this, so you can kind of see it's in full decoration and stuff. I'll tell you right now, this one's probably going to get like a 9 out of 10, just because I'm finding a lot of usefulness with this one. you have the porch, the front porch here, which you could fit quite a bit of stuff on. You can put your own custom door here. And then on the inside, you can put quite a bit of stuff in here as well. You can't really place anything on top of this hearth because it'll just clip through. So I leave that kind of bare. I put a bunch of resource generators here underneath the stairs. And then you have all this wall space to put decorations. When you go up here, you have more space. I usually put like power armor display, bobblehead display, stuff like that up here. And then this area here, I'll usually line this with all 10 of my turrets, which works out pretty well. And I'll put my ally out here on the back, and you know, some other stuff right here. If you go down these back steps, actually, this is where you get back access here. But also, there's another little like platform here that you can put your camp module or even the generator over here. And then down here is where I kind of tuck away water wells and things kind of out of the way. But overall, it's pretty decent. It's actually working out pretty well. And there's another little area too you can actually access here is if you have marsupial and jetpack, you can get up here and put a bunch of decorations and stuff. I have actually a chair in here. Some of that paint from the airport's clipping through. But I'll show you guys this in fully built fashion and everything. But that's pretty much every prefab that I own and kind of what my thoughts on them are. Let's make sure that I've got everything here. Looks like I've built pretty much everything. When I get more prefabs, obviously I'll you know, make dedicated videos for that stuff as well. But we're gonna go ahead and jump over to my Hunter's Lodge camp. Go and activate that one, just so you can kind of see what I've done with the Hunter's Lodge. And I actually have this. This is one of my camps that I use on private server because it's like right here in the blast zone. But I use pretty much the Skyline Valley weather changer for pretty much all of my camps because it just makes it look nice and moody. So once we actually load in here, you'll be able to see the Hunter's Lodge completely utilized. So I've got it all decorated out. I'm really big on resource generators, as you can tell. Got, you know, junk over here. And then, like I said, I got water wells underneath here. This structure, or this shelter door actually fits perfectly along this wall between these two pillars. This is where I have, like, you know, anytime I have like a an objective to build inside of a shelter, that's where I go. I'll put like just slot machines in there, whatever. And then up on this platform I have the camp module. And I also have this blocked off just so, like, you know, ghouls or whatever don't come up here. Doesn't really help too much, but whatever, it's nice aesthetic. The allies up here, like I said, I have all my turrets right here. Turbo fertilizer up here. And then if I open this custom door, actually let's go down here. Start with the porch here. So I have the vendor right here, just kind of sitting on this generator outside the door, so I can kind of lock this and kind of just, you know, keep it, you know, secured. Brewing station, water boiler, and then fusion core generator, cooking station. It's just some decorations here. But like I said, a lot of room in here for stuff. So wood, acid, all the resource generators here, stash boxes, and then just kind of like lining everything with the either resource or crafting and everything. And I have the bed in the center. And then also, just like I said, you could just completely blanket the entire walls with decorations. Up here you got displays, power armor stuff, all that stuff here. Turrets are firing at a scorched beast right now. And then if I actually go in here, I actually filled out that little top ledge up here with like a chair with a bunch of decorations, so I can sit in here and then just kind of chill or whatever. But overall, I'm pretty much liking this as like an alternative to the armory and things. I'll probably be building another camp inside the tavern as well and kind of giving it a full treatment and everything. We need to go kill this scorched beast. Also, I had the weather change up here on the chimney. The scorched beast doesn't realize I'm recording a video, but he's dead now. So I have the weather change up here on the chimney, and powered by a Tato generator. This I get a lot of action at this location. Obviously, when I'm trying to record the video, I had to kill a Deathclaw and a Scorched Beast, so that's kind of like a nice little area to be to be in right here. You just don't want to be over in this area when they're dropping nukes on public servers. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.